How we doing, ladies and genitals? Welcome to the Chug Daddy Show. My name is Chuggernaut, and some people call me Zanny Claus. And I have been out for a little bit. There has not been so many great products, in my opinion, coming out, so I decided just to not cover on them. And also, I had a surgery done and all that good stuff, and I'm healing up now, so we're all good there. And it's really cool to have my first like video back being an Oracle Sound product. I really love that company. I use the bone stager on just about every mix if I really need like a disgusting bass tone, and that is a very usable tool. The gore stager is awesome. Pain stager is a really sick tool if you're into like the HM2 tones, and the core stager is badass, dude. It's like a bunch of different kind of boost and all kinds of stuff like fuzz, distortions, and all that. But this is an amp sim, and it's made for Chernobyl. I am not positive how to pronounce it. Here is the info right here. SVARTRUNA is how it's spelled, and I'm not gonna sit there and try to pronounce that. It's got a V in there, so like I'm not even gonna. Yeah, not even gonna try. It's for Chernobyl Audio, which is a badass channel for like old school black metal tones, old school death metal tones. And honestly, I've learned a lot of stuff from his channel. A lot of like the stuff I use in my mixes, I've learned from him. So I'm very grateful to be working on a or to be using a product from these two together. And I'm very excited to see what Oracle Sound has to offer in the future because this right here is pretty innovative. I know it's using NAM, um, and some people might be thrown off by that, but that is honestly, I think, the future of amp sims because those are the best way to capture amps correctly and to get the right impedance feel, etc. I'm not that nerdy enough to be able to explain that all to you, but this thing is awesome and it's not super CPU heavy. It looks like it's CPU heavy down here because I'm using OBS and this at the same time, and my computer is not that great. But for me having an older computer, this thing is awesome. Like especially if I'm not using OBS, I can load up like 6 of these and not have any issues and I can start mixing it down, and that's really nice. Which I was expecting this to be extreme because NAM is usually pretty heavy on the computer. So that is awesome. So real quick, I'm gonna go over to like the first little row. We have input gain, and then we have these 3 knobs up here, which are controlling like the boost and distortion and stuff. The first 2 voices are like a TS9 Maxon kind of pedals. I don't know if that's actually what they are, but that's what they remind me of. And then the mix knob and the tone knob is just kind of dialing in the tone more. And then the other 2 options are like Swedish chainsaw kind of stuff, which Oracle Sound is really big on, and so is also Chernobyl. So those are really cool to have. They sound really good. I'm not going to demonstrate what HM2 sound like, but they react really well with this amp. That's all I got to say. We have a gate, obviously, and then we have a stereo option for like standalone, and then we have a tuner. You can bypass it on this third one, and then we have the output gain. And then moving over to the tone stack, things get a little different. The pre-gain is just kind of dialing in your DI and your gain with your amp and perfectly. I kind of prefer it to be like that because honestly, like the auto gains in amp sims don't always work well. But yeah, I really just don't like the way like the AI auto gain stuff works out because they usually are never uh, exactly how I need it to be. And then moving over to the gain, I know they're probably thinking like, oh, it's just a gain knob. It's actually not. The 6 through or 1 through 6 are kind of like your mid crunch tones and cleaner tones, and they all react differently with the amp. So they're like kind of like different captures of the amp and whatnot. And 7, 8, and 9 being like the more extreme tones. That's where I kind of like to be. And they all sound differently. 7, 8, 9, like they all react to the cabinet differently, and they have different like curves and whatnot. I don't know. They sound really sick though. And then you guys should know what low, mid, and high do. And then we have a tight knob to tighten up the low end. And we have a tame knob, which is kind of like a low pass filter. And then the presence knob. The shape is really cool because when you're like dialing in your tone with drums and stuff, you want to kind of like hear what it's doing with the mid voicing. That's what it basically does, is kind of like control the mids a little bit. Because Ingle amps have like different kind of mids going on, like the lower mids and the high mids are kind of like reacting weird, but they're sick, man. Ingle amps are badass, dude. We have 3 cabinets, Cab C, based on like some type of German cabinet, so I'm guessing it is a Ingle cab. And then moving over to cab B, which saying in the description that it was based on a British cabinet, so I'm going to guess that it is a Marshall cab. That is super fun to play on. And then cab A saying in the description that is based on an American cab, so I'm going to guess that it is a Mesa oversized cab. And I'm going to go ahead and shut that off real quick. And then turn on a third-party IR that I think sounds really good with this amp. These are free impulse responses. I discovered these from Resington. And I'm also about to do a video for their brand new amp sim with Convict of the band Malevolence. But yeah, I think it sounds so good. Yeah, man. I thought these impulse responses sounded so good, and they're free, bro. Come on. So yeah, I'm gonna put the link for the description of these in there. We're here for the new Oracle Sound Chernobyl amp sim, and this thing is sweet. It's a perfect old school death metal, black metal machine, dude. And I think you guys should go and pick it up. It is a great price right now. I think it's like 60 to 70 bucks right now, which I think is very fair with today's market. So yeah, go and pick this thing up, man. It is definitely worth your time, and your mix will thank you. So yeah, that is basically it for this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to see what else I got coming up and see what other companies are up and coming. But yeah, you guys stay good. Don't forget to stay chugging. Later.
could get smacked for that. Bro, like what he's saying right now, like that's something that he would have got smacked for. Like back in the day, but you know what I'm saying? I got kids and stuff now, so I ain't even about that life. Like, I used to be a killer.